Gonna do one more cast for tonight. I'm gonna go over a game of CLG versus Goose from IPL 3. Just a game I picked out. I don't remember seeing this game, which is kind of why I want to watch it. So we're gonna go over and see what happens. Start with picks and bans. CLG gets first ban, first pick. Their first ban that goes out, Morgana. Strong hero, whatever, banner. Cassiopeia getting banned. Another strong mid lane AP champion. Lee Sin getting banned. Everybody sees Lee Sin get banned. To anybody out there who likes playing Lee Sin, I'm so sorry for you. So sorry, you get banned so often. And then Zillion ban coming down. These are quick bans. So Zillion ban going down. Pretty standard mid AP carry champion in the North American scene. So not surprised to see him banned out. Kog'Maw gets banned out by CLG. Seen as a really, really strong AD carry. Some people even say that he might be a little too strong. Like especially all the European teams, they all insta pick, insta ban him either way. So not surprised to see him get banned out. So we'll see if Purple will respond with an AD ban as well. Yep, they banned Caitlyn. So two of the longest range AD champions gone. Not surprised to see a Caitlyn get banned out after a Kog'Maw. Not really smart to leave her open when the other team has first pick, because then they might get her over you, and you can't really counter a lane against her. So CLG first pick lock Galio. Love Galio. Galio is such a strong champion. Be curious to see what they run with him. A couple things can go with him. Well, Morgana's gone, so they're not going to be running Morgana mid. So maybe they have something else in mind. Some champions at work are Morgana, like I said. Fiddlesticks works. You can overlap their ultimates. Gangplank goes really well with him. Kennen. I think I talked about Kennen in the last one too, how I would have liked to see Kennen with that lineup. But this time they have the Galio. So I'd like to see a Kennen out of them. Any other champions? Not really. Maybe a Nivea. That might be too much AP though. I don't know. Kennen would be cool. Fiddle would be cool as well. Either one of those I'd like to see. So Goose are coming out with Nocturne for their jungle and Vayne for their AD. Kind of showing their hand a little early. But with those picks, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, if I'm CLG, I'm thinking, hey, they want to do some kind of aggressive play. Because a Vayne will chase you down with his ultimate, gives him movement speed to chase you down. Nocturne ultimate, ganking, chasing you down, fairing you. So with those two picks, I look at that and I think they're going to be pretty aggressive. And CLG, yep, they know what's up. They see that and they're picking their support even before they take their AD. They take Janna right away. Janna will be able to knock those two champions off of the team. Even though they have Galio and you want to clump people together, that's not what they're looking at. They're looking at Nocturne and Vayne, and they're thinking, how do we get them off of our team? So Janna, Tornado, ultimate knockback. It's going to be great for those two. And then for either Udyr will probably be their jungle. So Udyr jungle, good hero, really, really good late game. You can just farm all day on him, spam buttons. Udyr's a really strong hero. Works in just about any team comp. And the other team locks in Sona, and are they picking him? Yep. So they're picking up Singed, so that's further adding into their fast chase combo where they're going to be looking to chase after people. Singed will help throw people away from towers so they can't tower camp. They'll be able to dive in with their Vayne and Nocturne. So I'm expecting Goose to be playing a really aggressive game. And it's good for CLG because they have really kind of tanky heroes that can sit there and absorb most of it. Galio should be able to live through most stuff. Udyr, you can't really dive in Udyr very well. He'll just spam his turtle form. So beefy champion so far from CLG. They go with Ashe. That's pretty interesting. Well, I guess, they can have Chaucer stand in front, or not Chaucer. St. Vicious will be playing him, most likely. So Chaucer will probably be on Ashe. So St. Vicious will be looking to just protect that Ashe, stun anything that goes near, keep people off. And please lock in that cannon. Please, you'll make me very happy. Yes. Okay, so I really like CLG's lineup. Big props to them. We'll see what the last pick on Goose is going to be. They need a mid lane, so if they run something like Annie or Brand, something like that, I'll be really happy. Karthus. What the fuck? Don't do it. Don't do that. Don't, no, don't. What? No. No, don't lock him. Don't lock him. Come on, you got 27 seconds to think about it. Look, even they're like, no. I don't want to look at that. What are y'all doing on my screen? Go away. Hey, I'm the one doing the analysis here. Fuck off. No. Okay, well, while they're talking, I'll go over it a little bit. So, for CLG, I like their lineup better. That Ashe gives them an initiate. The other heroes are kind of, on the other team, have a lot of ability to kind of flee and get away a little bit. Not so much Karthus. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, to be honest. I don't know. But they're going to need something to initiate with, and that Ashe arrow is going to help a lot. Also, the vision that Ashe gives, they're going to need to see stuff coming. So that Ashe pick was actually really smart. They're going to be able to see any kind of weird brush ganks coming. Ashe will be able to see any odd river time ganks, anything coming, even in late game, just being able to help spot side areas that can't be warded or CV'd. So have an Ashe arrow go, or the hawk shot go one side and have a CV go down on the other. It's just going to really help them not get ganked and see Nocturne coming before that ultimate goes off. So I really like Ashe. Ashe fits in well. CLG, that was just a brilliant pick phase by CLG. Goose started off well, but then that last pick makes me face palm. Karthus doesn't really fit into that. Their entire lineup dictated being really aggressive, diving in. That's not Karthus' style. Karthus' style fits more with what CLG is trying to do, which is kind of like a sort of AoE DPS type deal. That Kennen and Galio is going to tear them up. So this is either going to go two ways. Well, three things could happen, but what I'm expecting to see is that Goose are going to be really, really aggressive with those picks. Nocturne will be ganking probably a lot. So it'll be a game of, will they be successful with that aggression and start picking off kills without losing anything? Or is CLG going to, kind of roll with the punches and be able to sustain through all their aggression? Because if they can, then I think they have the overall better team comp to outlast Goose. And I think in the long game that CLG have a real chance, but early game is going to be tense. CLG are going to have to be really on top of their game with all their vision placement in order not to get killed here. Really wondering how they're going to lane that Ashe and Janna. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Ashe start something like Cloth 5 against Sona Vayne, because Sona can help burst her down quite quick, as well as Vayne dealing, his little dodge shots. Those hurt. So if CLG can make it through the early game and the mid game without getting knocked down to some 5k gold deficit, then I think that they have a chance of winning. But early game is going to be everything here. So any day we will start. I don't care that you guys are discussing stuff that doesn't matter. Blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna skip ahead. Fuck it. Wow, they talk a lot. I don't even talk that much. Jesus Christ. Lol 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 lol. Okay, so starting items. Nothing out of the ordinary. Everybody's running potions in this game. Wouldn't doubt it. So neither team is actually doing any kind of crazy other side of the map aggression. CLG taking a super defensive posture. They're not even sitting near their river entrances. They're hiding way back behind their towers. They don't want to take any risks. Kennen is already going top. So I think with that forward ward near their Wraith pit, Nocturne is a pretty notorious hero for trying to steal Wraiths early, along with Lee Sin. Those two heroes, out of all of them, I think, are the ones that steal Wraiths the most. So they want that early vision to see if Nocturne crosses over into their jungle. Nocturne is pretty good at counter jungling. He and Lee Sin are some pretty strong counter junglers. And Nunu, but nobody really plays Nunu anymore. Rammus as well. Rammus is making a comeback, though, I might add. So, starting regular jungle patterns. I like how people have adopted this thing where you kill the wolf pit first, and then right when you're done, the golem pops. It really helps out your jungle. Makes that gank timing on either of the lanes come 10 seconds faster, which has messed up some of my ward timings for support. I've been having to place the ward out a little bit earlier now. Used to I could wait till 4 minutes to place that ward. Say if I was defending top and the bottom lane is the lane I was supporting, then that jungle would normally walk up at 4 minutes. But now I've been having to place it at 350 because these faster jungle routes that people have adapted are allowing them to get there quicker, and I'd be getting caught with my pants down with trying to get a ward up. So gotta be wary of things like that, especially on support. So everything's kind of not doing much right now. Yeah. Okay, now Galio is not normally a mid hero, and you see that Galio is running the teleport. So what that means is that Kennen doesn't like playing against Karthus. Kennen really doesn't like playing against a Karthus. He can't deal with it. Karthus's Q can just bully him around so much, and he'll be getting sent out of lane a lot. So Goose got kind of lucky there, because now Galio's running the wrong summoner spell, and Kennen's not where he wants to be. The only good thing about this is that Galio is a mana user, and he will now be closer to that blue buff. So that is a downside for CLG, and now they might... What that does is that means that the first dragon for them is not going to be something they're going to want to do. See, look how fast this jungle is. 340, and he's already all up on this fucking Singe. That is crazy. I'm going to have to ward even sooner now. My God. Jesus Christ, that scares me. So, CV goes out, sees him on his jungle route, that he's actually teleporting back at golems. Nice timing understanding by elements there. His ward is in the tri-bush instead of river. You can get away with that because on a regular route you'll go through golems, and if you have bush control, then having that ward further up is better because you can see them coming from the jungle earlier instead of having it in river. Well, they're not going to be coming from river. They're going to be coming from that tri-bush. So if you have lane control already, the sooner you know something's coming, the better. So they put it in the tri-bush now because the river would catch it later than a tri-bush ward would. So back to that laning thing. Now that Galio's stuck mid with teleport instead of up top like he likes to be, Singed has it and Kennen doesn't. So CLG are probably really pressured in knowing that they're going to have a hard time getting that first dragon. So that's going to be in the back of their minds. They're against an aggressive lineup that will most like the way the game's set up to play out right now, they're not getting first dragon. Unless they do something pretty ballsy, I don't think they're getting first dragon. First dragon should go to Goose. Just looking at the lanes, looking at the summoner spells, the heroes, Goose gets first dragon. Unless somebody gets caught out way, like, makes a huge error and they get like 2 kills on bottom lane or something crazy like that, I don't see them forfeiting dragon. CLG are probably going to be screwed on that one. What is interesting though is that Saint Vicious is trying to do something for his team. He actually went and stole wraiths, so he knows that, hey, we're kind of in a bad spot here. So he went and put that aggressive ward up there, took the wraith camp, and I believe he stole the golems as well. He did a really hard counter jungle of Nocturne there. Nocturne got caught going back when Elements CV'd there and saw him going back. Udyr's like, okay, I know that your wraiths are coming back up now. And when they came back up, he poked in, got the wraiths, all was good. Nocturne went back up to go get wolf camp, and right after he finished, golems finished. So he killed golems. They had that ward there in the tri-bush, so they could guarantee his easy escape. And he had the ward to spot to see if mid went and dipped down in between waves, so he had full protection of that jungle steal. So now that is one thing that's going for him. They're going to slow down Nocturne's ult, which is huge, especially given the lineup they have. Now I have a huge gank attempt going in on this Karthus. I don't think he'll die. Nope, he didn't die. So now, that's another bad thing for CLG. Not only are they not looking favorable for Dragon, but now Hotshot's ulti's on cooldown. So things kind of balancing themselves out. St. Vicious is doing an amazing job counter jungling, keeping his team in the game, but other things not going as well. Let's look at the farm real quick. Kennen is ahead of Singed by just a little bit. No, they're back even. So top lane's kind of neutralizing. Bottom lane, Ashe is up 5 kills for just a couple. Little extra gold from her E will help. So she'll be slightly ahead of Vayne. Ashe does a great job farming because you do get all that extra gold. And now, look, CLG have been even more aggressive. They really want to make up for this disadvantage they're going to have. They're being so aggressive on Nocturne's jungle. This is insane. So now St. Vicious has blue. Are they going? They're going for a gank on. Why would you gank him? You're not going to kill him. Oh my god. Okay, they gave him a first blood. That's not good. It is singed, so it's not as, threatening, but I don't like diving singed. So that's 2 ultis down, and a hero, and flash. So this is probably prime time to do Dragon for Goose. They got the first blood kill on Kennen. They know 2 ultimates are down. Singed just teleports up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them rotate onto Dragon right now. Look, Elements knows. He knows what's up. He's in the river. He's like, hey, we just fucked up. So he's getting a whole bunch of vision set up because he knows that they'll be going for Dragon now. My god, Nocturne is... I don't know how he's still keeping up in items, even with all that crazy counter jungling. It's pretty impressive. So, Goose didn't really capitalize on that. I don't particularly care for that, but oh well. So now Singed is at the point where he can just kind of run around in the wave and get his farm. Singed takes a while to get going on his farm. He's not a top lane that can just jump in at low levels and farm, but it scales so hard. And if you leave him out of lane for like 2 seconds, well, he's going to kill the whole wave before it touches his creeps. So once he gets to like this level 8-9 period, that's when your tower can start taking a ton of damage if you leave it against Singed. Even though he doesn't do much damage, the minions sure as hell do. And you see Janna, like I've talked about before, when you have a Janna, tower hug. Vayne and Sona have been in this part of the lane the entire time. St. Vicious hasn't been able to really go down and harass, but he doesn't need to because Ashe isn't really getting behind, and there's no need to put the Vayne behind right now. Their worry is this Nocturne. Nocturne's their worry. Nocturne he's like the lubrication for this gank machine, and they want to keep it jammed up as much as possible. So St. Vicious has been putting a lot of his early game into the opponent's jungle, some into top lane. He's gone twice now to be aggressive on Singed, and that's all he's done to touch. And Nocturne has been inadvertently kind of shunned out of aggression because he's so far behind on jungle. Like none of his timings line up for his levels, his items, everything's off, so he can't be effective early game, which is really heads up by CLG. So far, the main war has been in the jungle. Now again, they're chasing Singed. What are you doing? Can't kill that. Look at him. He just starts butt whistling, and then you're done. Just butt whistling. Turns on that ultimate. That's what we call it. So Dragon still hasn't been killed. Surprises me. Okay, I think they're going for it now. They see 2 people top, and Singed has teleport. I think they're going for it now. Yeah, they're all converging on it. Camera's not seeing it, but okay, it sees it. So 11:05, Dragon goes down. So this has been a pretty kind of, even though they did get Dragon, I don't know. I guess the fact that they haven't been able to show aggression as much as I would like them to for this kind of team comp, I'm kind of worried. Even though they're kind of following the story that they should have written already with the picks, they're not really going through with it. Vayne is getting his farm bottom, which is cool and all, but I don't know. Kind of scared for him. Their Nocturne's really behind. So Singed, chilling top lane. See Kennen left, and now these Creeper gonna get pushed really easily. And then mid lane, Galio has his blue buff. Now he can just kind of be boss mode in mid with his blue buff. I don't know if St. Vicious has the timer on their blue. I think he's moving that way. He might be going to take it again. It should be coming back up. It's not going to be for another 45 seconds, though, I don't think. Oh, he's checking the wolf camp. So he might go wolf camp, then blue. He's being so aggressive in the jungle. That is amazing. Such smart play by St. Vicious. That's them realizing that what their that's them taking direct note of what their weakness is. They know their early game is kind of fragile. Yep, there's the blue. It's up. Look, they don't want it taken again. They really don't want that taken. I think they just CB. Yeah, I think that's their CB. So they see him trying to take it. And they're like, we're not having none of that. Are they going to try that? Are you really trying this again? Did you not see what happened last? They didn't see what happened last time. They didn't see it. I'll show them on the replay. I just got to travel. I just got to learn how to travel back in time to show them real quick before they try that. Waste all those abilities on them. Okay, so let's take a look at items real quick. I'm going to go through this real quick. Galio, Catalyst, can build whatever he wants out of it. I've seen a lot of that on Galio, where you get Catalyst in your Merc Treads and then kind of get like a Glacial Shroud, I guess. I don't know. Kind of a weird build. I don't know what... I don't play Galio, so I'm just kind of looking at this and saying, well, wonder why they do that. But obviously they have their reasons, and I'll probably look at it later to figure out why. But for now, I'll just kind of go through it. Ashe, BF Sword, Boots. I like it. No Dorans. Yay. St. Vicious kind of going for GP10. I guess that's good. They need to make it to the late game, and their late game needs to be strong, so that makes sense. Janna just has Philostone. Hasn't gone back for Boots yet. Probably hasn't had time to buy. Has to babysit so hard. And then Kennen has his revolver, his book. He's gone for Will of the Ancients, it looks like. So nice item for him. Helps his team out too. Galio. Sona hasn't gotten her Philostone yet. Went Boots before Philostone. I don't know about that one. You're the one being aggressive. And they're kind of tower hugging. You don't need the Boots. I guess for Vision. Vision's important for their team, so maybe she wants to be able to get around and put Vision down effectively. So that could be the reason behind it. Vayne has his Bloodthirster that he's getting straight towards. Yay, thumbs up. Yay. And then Nocturne, Lantern, whatever. Karthus, Doran's items. Boo. See, if he hadn't gotten Doran's, he would have had his Catalyst, which would mean that he would almost have his Rod of Ages, but now, nope. Nope. And Singed going for the Rod of Ages, aka the I win button on Singed. Once you get it, you just run around. You're good. Yeah. So blue buff back up for CLG now. They'll probably give it back to this Galio. He'll move into play soon. Oh look, Nocturne's trying to pull a St. Vicious. Oh, he's just warding. Probably sad to see that Wraith camp gone. They're actually checking to see if their red's up. They have no idea what the red timing is for them. They know their red's up, though. So he'll probably go down and get his own red. Now, Dragon won't be up for another 2 minutes, so not much they can do. Look, Kennen left the lane. Look how far down the tower dropped. Singed is such an abusive tower pusher. Once you get to this mid-game phase, oh my god. Most annoying thing ever. CLG still have this problem, though, where Galio's stuck mid and Kennen's stuck top, because Galio can't do anything against a Singed. So, teleport, still useless. 16-minute mark, and he hasn't been able to make use of it. I don't even think he's been able to use it to just teleport back into his own lane. Bottom, they haven't moved. They've just been sitting there farming. See, that's what I don't like about this. Their lineup for Goose, they're just kind of sitting here. They need to be doing something. They have Nocturne to dive around, just ulti in at will. Karthus even has his ultimate to be a part of a gank somewhere. I guess that'd be the reasoning behind the Karthus, but the rest of his entire character doesn't fit. But the ultimate does fit with the whole dive in and chase people and gank and really put pressure on the heroes, but they haven't been doing that. Look, Chaucer's been able to just sit here. Just sit here. Hasn't even bought many potions. I think he's bought 6 or 7 potions all game, which is not bad for Ashe. That's pretty good. Now they bring up the gold farm. Look, they're dead even. Dead even. On top, look. They're within like a couple hundred gold. Like 100 or 200 gold at all times. So that's looking really good for CLG. Their team comp for the end game is way better. Oh my god, do they not watch my show or something? What the hell? Have they not did they not like download the book on their Kindle to where they saw the story where the Kennen and the Udyr chased the Singed and they didn't do anything to it? See, once again, they just same thing as last time. Look, Kennen and Udyr up top. So they're like, hey guys, look, dragon's up. LOL, let's go kill it. So why they didn't get in position for dragon, I don't know. See, there what I'd like to see is they knew the dragon timer. They should have. So what I would have liked to see happen is send Galio top to kind of use his AoE damage to keep that wave off the tower. So now that both teams have a teleport top, and I would have had Kennen, when he bought back, go mid. So that Kennen was in position for dragon. Bottom lane, obviously in position for dragon. St. Vicious shouldn't have gone top. Should have known dragon timer. So bad positioning by CLG there. They let a dragon go for free. No kills, no stolen anything, no tower, no consolation prize for losing that. Just bad map positioning, and then they lose dragon. I swear to God, they need to read the damn book. I'll get it signed for them. Actually, they're gonna... What's that? Is that a Nocturne ultimate? Whoa, he finally used it. Oh my god, okay. Hold on, we're gonna have to go back. What the hell just happened? So that's one person down from either team? Is that all that's gonna happen? One from each team? So they trade 2 for 2. Is he gonna die? No. Oh, nice. Oh, but he did kill Kennen. So they trade 2 for 2. What did they pay for it, though? Okay, so what you're not seeing is the dragon position for jockeying. It's already dead. Well, good job, observer. Lol, 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 troll, lol, lol. JK, I love you guys. I want to see that happen again. I think I need to... No, does it happen here? Sorta. I don't want to fast forward too far ahead. I don't want to miss it. Okay, I think this is it. Yep, this is it. So let's look at the map where the heroes are at. They're kind of converging in on this blue. You see Janna moving over, St. Vicious moving over. Now Singed comes in, CV goes out. They see the other team approaching. So Janna probably just threw out a tornado right there to help. But Kennen already burned his ultimate on one champion. Why does he keep doing that? I don't understand. So now that is unfortunate that they're all clumped up like that, and that Hotshot got a free kill out of it. So an ulti went down to kind of counteract it. So that could have been worse for Goose, but CLG was just kind of sloppy. They had the better composition, but Kennen blew his ulti early. They haven't been able to sync up this Galio and Kennen at all this game. The 19-minute mark, and they still haven't synced at all. It's kind of disheartening. So they've lost 2 dragons uncontested whatsoever due to just silly positioning mistakes. Well, the first one I explained why they couldn't. It was basically a given so long as that Goose played properly. The second one was just, that was CLG's error. They should have been contesting that. They should have been more aware there. And then this last fight, once again, Kennen just, third time I've seen him use his ulti just on Singed, and it didn't do anything. So I would like to see Big Fat LP save his ultimate and use it at a better time. So now they traded even, so 2 for 2. Well, guess what? It's freaking even again. Yup. Even. So as a consolation prize, CLG get mid tower, I guess, but in the process they forfeit bottom and top tower. So now the tower advantage is with CLG, or not CLG, Goose. So they can be more aggressive on these side lanes, which is good. That's good for their team comp. They need to start pushing and being aggressive. If they can push down this mid tower, then the game opens up to them, and they can really start piling on that pressure. But if they let CLG sit back like this, and let all their ultis come back up, I think they might be in trouble. Because it's so even. Look at that Ashe arrow. That's why Ashe works so well in this combo. Gives them a good initiate. Even if they didn't get any kills there, look, they burned an Ashe ultimate, and all it did was catch a Karthus and allow their whole team to jump in on him. At least the 3 there. So the game's going to kind of stall out again. Take one more brief look at items. Galio went for Banshees, has his Glacial Shroud. I guess that actually does make sense. How you get Catalyst early on for the levels. Scales really well in mid-levels since you're leveling up so much, and then you need the Glacial Shroud. I like it. Cool. Ashe went straight eye edge. Zerker boots. That is textbook Ashe build. Been around for forever. I also like it. Went straight for tier 3 item. Woohoo! Udyr, kind of all over the place, his items, but kind of needs to be dumping his money because he's got to be soaking up that damage. So putting as much as he can into defensive stats throughout the game that's kind of important that he's building slowly like he is. And he does pick up Wit's End, which is good. That'll help him sustain through that Karthus and Singed a lot better. Then Janna, normal. Second GP10 item, kind of noteworthy. Then Kennen, needlessly large rod, probably going with a death cap next. Maybe Zhonya's. I doubt it though. There's too much AP on the other team. That's the real concern to him. So he's probably going death cap. Other team, Sona, no second GP10. Don't know what that ruby crystal's gonna be. Might be Heart of Gold. Don't know. Vayne went Bloodthirster Zeal instead of Eye Edge. Also a good build. Either one works. Ashe probably benefits more from Eye Edge though. And they're rudely interrupting me. Nocturne. Wriggles looks like he's going for Warmogs next. So I'll be looking to make that Atmogs. He's a jungler like GP that really benefits from that Atmogs. Ooh, Ashe Arrow. And then Karthus has his death cap. Scary. Kind of late on it though because those 2 Doran's items. And Singed has his Rod of Ages, a belt. Might go Force of Nature next. Probably not. I don't think you get belt for Force of Nature. Don't know what he's going for actually. I'm drawing a blank on that right now. But Galio's finally, look, 22 minutes. Finally where he wants to be. Top lane. Now he can finally, for the first time all game, keep Singed from just doing whatever he pleases with him. Look, he can just sit in the DOT and just heal off of it. So CLG are kind of getting aggressive now. They're testing the waters of how aggressive can I be. They have all their champions mid. Galio top with teleport. Finally. So we're at the 23-minute mark, and now CLG's game plan is finally taking effect. I don't like what Goose has done with their game plan so far. Gonna be honest. Don't like how they've played. CLG are known as a really aggressive team. Well, they sure as hell weren't aggressive this game, except St. Vicious. It was smart, calculated aggression by him, but nothing crazy. Now, CLG actually get their dragon for the first time. Alright. So here comes Nocturne with his ultimate. Guess what? Galio teleport. Yay! So Galio gets perfect teleport, and look, he teleports to cut off the retreat path. A Kennen ultimate finally lands with this whole team there. So they pick up 2 kills on the retreat. Karthus stuck way out. Now Hotshot burns his ultimate just to snag Karthus. So finally CLG, they were so patient. It's so patient by them. Spending the entire game just sitting there. They were probably obviously frustrated with the fact that their laning phase wasn't going to be a smooth ride. So they just kind of sat there and they waded through it. They played really cautious, really patient. Just kind of built their items up steadily. And then once they got their items going and they got their levels, they're like, okay, time to shine. So it all started with that Galio finally going top. You saw the effect of it. The rest of the team was able to just kind of run around as 4. Galio, unlike that second time for Dragon, he was in the right position. And St. Vicious and Kennen went to the right spot. And you saw all the effect that it had. CLG could have had a much bigger lead right now, but instead it's kind of like a little baby lead. It's kind of like you finally slipped up, so now we have that tiny advantage, but we can still get caught out type of lead. So Goose is there. I think they're panicking a little too much here, going straight to Baron like that. I don't know if they need to go straight to Baron. Their Vayne is still really strong, and the only person with armor on the other team would be Galio and Udyr. So if they were patient enough and like waited for Kennen to get caught, I think Vayne could DPS him down quite fast, and then they'd be in a good position to make some headway in the game. They do have, well, they had a tower advantage, but they still have at least one tier 1 tower left up. So does CLG. CLG actually has a more important one, the mid one. So the tower favor is finally in CLG's favor, having that tier 2 tower down. And now EG finally get that mid tower. So they do have all the tier 1 towers down. That is something they have going for them. But the game, like I said, still not really that... It's not really that much in the advantage of CLG. It is, but not significantly. Now Galio catches 2. Huge AoE damage going in. See, when you run the Kennen like that, that's just crazy. You saw him go in. He died, but oh my god. That was just insane damage. But Vayne did get kind of a free run, and he was able to kick out a lot of damage as well. So let's go back just a little bit. I just want to watch that one more time. Okay, so CLG get caught trying to go back. They're all trying to go back and buy. And Goose just kind of shoved middle. And that caught CLG out of position. They're all kind of scrambling to get there. Galio's teleports down, so he's going to have to run there. Singed can run there faster than him, so they're going to be 5v4 quicker. And then once Singed gets there, he does something really smart. He just runs in front. Look, he runs in front, he eats that arrow, so that's an ultimate wasted on him. And they also burned a couple abilities on him right there. Galio ult, they kind of, see, someone flashed out of it, Sona did. So Sona was able to get out and then cast her ulti. So this CLG getting kind of caught going to buy is going to open up that door that Goose needed to get back in the game. Karthus, like I said, I don't like him in the team comp. Look, he's stationary. He's like a stationary hero. He wants to be like, with Karthus, what you want to do is you kind of want to take him and throw him into the middle of the team fight and just have him deal damage. Just sit there, leave his E on, spam his Q. And the beauty of him is that if your team is like an AoE type build, kind of like what CLG is running, then if you don't kill Karthus first, he's going to hurt the most. So you have to kill him. But he wants you to kill him, which is kind of fucked up. But this setup by Goose doesn't really facilitate that. Their lineup is kind of like a bounce around, chase, hit and run type lineup, and Karthus doesn't fit that MO. He doesn't really help. I guess Walls sort of helps, but just Karthus' whole hero makeup doesn't really gel. So you'll see that Karthus dies up here. Well, his team's already bounced out and gone over here. Look, he's dead. Now they're kind of bouncing around. All these heroes ran away, and they don't really have anything to hold them in place because they're, you know, chase and run heroes themselves. So Karthus kind of dies with a whimper. And even though they did trade 2 for 2, they, once again, it's just 2 for 2. So not a big enough claim. Now they will get the tier 2 tower out of it, so that does make up for it. So that did actually go in their favor. But Galio was pushed too far out. I guess eventually they were going to lose that tier 1 tower, but the fact that they had to scramble to get back to the tier 2 tower put them out of position. So now the only thing left on the map is Baron and the tier 2 tower. So I guess CLG could still claim that top tower, but back to kind of being even. Sort of even now. But like I said, CLG are going to be in the better position for the late game because their team comp is better. It just is. Now they're CVing down. They're all sort of down bottom. 3 of them are. And they just CV'd and saw that red was up. So I want to know if they actually go and try and make a poke at that. Love Ash Arrow. Not ultimate, the Hawk Shot. So good. Range on it's crazy. Just it's like a little mini CV that you just have at your disposal. It's great. Which once again highlights the brilliance of CLG by running a vision-heavy team comp against such a ganky roaming setup, even if it wasn't used to great effect by Goose this game. Now Ash is kind of caught top, but getting caught top at this point isn't really important. See, you can see it again there. Cannon ult, Galio ult, too much damage. Udyr just comes in, sits in front, eats up all this Vayne damage, just allows everybody else to just chill. Janna heals everybody back up. The only one that died there was Kennen. Kennen's kind of squishy. He's kind of like the Karthus. He'll run in and he will kind of die a little bit easier than most, but just the damage he kicks out is insane. And if you leave him alone, then he's gonna kill you. So now, CLG aces. And the product of that is the fact that their team comp, once again, just better. Karthus doesn't belong. Sorry, Goose. CLG are vulnerable to a Baron, though. If they slip up here and let Goose do a quick Baron, they might be in trouble. I think they all bought back up and healed. Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. They all bought back up and got out of their spawn fast enough. Goose, I don't think they intended at all to go for Baron. So they're looking to just try and claim their jungle, hang in there, which is not going to work. It's like I've been saying this whole time. They need to be aggressive, and they're not. Makes me a little sad. So does this Karthus. Come on, man. Come on. Karthus. So at this point, they've abandoned Dragon. They're going to start falling behind here. CLG basically have this one. I don't even see how they could... They could let them have Baron at this point, and I still think they'd be okay. Look at Saint Vicious. Such a good game. Saint Vicious really was the MVP of this game. Really was the MVP of this game for me. His decisions to know that he has to be in Nocturne's face and slowing Nocturne's game down early was just brilliant. Can't emphasize that enough. That counter jungling, the aggressive warding to know elements, using all of his CVs to track Nocturne and Nocturne's jungle timers. They're probably timing it. Saint Vicious just in his head looking at the clock, knowing when he has to go back to invade jungle. You saw a couple times where he'd show up at a camp and it'd instantly respawn. Just on the spot. He'd take it real quick, get out. Had CV to guide him. Just really brilliant play by the jungle and the support early on to get that edge where they really needed it. So, looks like Goose going for a Desperation Baron. I guess we'll talk about items. I'll be mainly focusing on CLGs though. The Frozen Heart with the Banshees. Pretty standard on Galio. That's all he's had for a while. I don't think he's gone back to buy yet. Maybe he has. Then Ashe with her Phantom Dancer and her whatever the hell you call it, Infinity Edge, standard pickaxe. I think that's Last Whisper. Hope I don't sound like a dumbass. Probably am. Pretty big dumbass. Udyr, loaded as fuck. Has Odin's. And then he has working towards his Triforce. Lol, Udyr Triforce. Has his wits end. Janna hasn't bought shit. Good Janna. And then Kennen actually went for that Hourglass. Really smart. I like the Hourglass. Now he's going to be able to ulti and just kind of invuln. Cool. And then I guess you can go over to Goose. Sona. You actually bought items. Greedy whore. And now ultis come in. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody knows how this game's going to turn out now. Go, go. Get him, whack him. See, they can't chase the Ashe. Janna's so good. Ashe has all that slow. Can't chase her. Look, Saint Vicious just in their faces. If they try and chase the Ashe, then St. Vicious will be there in their faces to just deny them. There's no way they were going to get to that Ashe. Ashe is too guarded. St. Vicious in their face, Galio in their face, Janna pushing them away. Such smart team comp by CLG. So smart. And there you have it. They're going to push and win from here. At least they'll get this inhibitor, and that's just going to be the end of it. So, I think I'll stop now. So, a couple thoughts about the game. CLG, broad overview. CLG starts out the game. They see a Kennen mismatch against Karthus mid, so they send him top lane. Throws off their game because they have to send their teleport Galio mid, which is not optimal. So, given that, Goose is most likely going to have first dragon since they can have Singe top with teleport. That pretty much guarantees a 5v4 if CLG try and commit, and that'll spell the end of them. So, given the lineups, CLG loses first dragon, but the fact that St. Vicious was able to do a brilliant counter jungling of the Nocturne slowed his items, levels, abilities, slowed him down so much that he wasn't able to gank and help fuel their aggressive fire. So they were never able to get going early, didn't gank, therefore their team comp kind of fizzled out because they rely heavily on momentum. Champions like Singed, Vayne, Nocturne early on, if you have those three, you need momentum. And they were never able to get rolling. St. Vicious was constantly being just in their faces with the jungle, and even up top, just aggressive on Singe, didn't want Singe leaving the lane. Kind of weird by Big Fat LP to burn a whole bunch of ultis on him, but they kept them contained. They boxed him up and said, don't come out. Goose was like, okay. And that let CLG farm up to get to their late game. And their late game was stronger than their opponents. So that was basically how the game went in a broad spectrum. So, yeah, this was CLG